Hi, today I will give you a brief overview of the gradient descent algorithm. Let's start with a quick analogy. Suppose you're standing on a hill blindfolded and your aim is to reach the lowest point on this hill. And the only way in which you can navigate is by feeling what's under your feet and taking a small step towards the steepest direction. So starting from this point, you will take a small step in the steepest direction, which will be this, and you will reach the next point. At this point again, you will repeat the same thing and take a small step in the steepest direction, which will be this. And by repeating this process iteratively, eventually you will reach the lowest point on this hill, which is this. And that is what gradient descent is. It's an iterative mathematical algorithm to reach the lowest point of any function or the minimum of that function. Let's define it mathematically. Suppose you have a function f of x, you have to find x that will minimize this function or take it to its lowest point, like this point. The way you do it is start at any xn, and add a step to it and get the next x or the next position. Suppose the slope at the current x is m and the learning rate is lambda, then the step is defined as negative of slope into lambda. Learning rate is a parameter which you give to the gradient descent, which tells it how fast it has to learn or how big steps it is supposed to take. Uh, as you might have all learned in a calculus class, the slope of any function is nothing but the differentiation of it or the derivative of it. In our case, f of d by dx f of x. Let's take a simple example of f of x is equal to x square. So our function will look something like this. And suppose we start at x equal to 5, which is this point, and we have to now find what step we have to take in what direction. So, as we have seen, step is minus of slope into learning rate. Let's find what slope is. Slope for us is d by dx of x square, which is equal to 2x, and at x equal to 5, our slope is 2 into 5, which is equal to 10. So, which gives us a step size of minus 10 into our learning rate 0.1, which is equal to minus 1. So, at x equal to 5, with gradient descent, you take a small step of x equal to minus 1 and reach your next point, which is 4. If you keep repeating this process again and again at 4 and at the next points, you will keep moving closer and closer to the lowest point of this function, which is in this case at 0. Uh, so this is what gradient descent is. You might be wondering where this is actually used in real life. Have you ever wondered how Netflix predicts what movies you will like the next and like recommends you those? So the way it does it is Netflix predicts what rating you will give to the particular movie. And when you watch it and give it an actual rating, it compares it and ca- calculates the error between or the difference between the actual rating and the rating which it had predicted. And by minimizing this error or the difference using gradient descent, Netflix is able to learn how to give more accurate prediction based on uh, the choices which you have made, and that's how it becomes better at predicting the actual rating, and it suggests you or recommends you the movie which you might like. So that's all for today. I hope this was useful. Thank you.